Word, the priceless power. People just say things, people speak things, and some of them you can tell that they never gave a thought before they uttered those words. For some of them, they did less than required. They never thought about the impact of their words. If they did, they'll probably be careful putting words together in a different way. Now, your words, regardless of what you think they are potent forces. Your word is a potent force, because with words, things are created, no matter what it is. I have a quote here, one of my quotes. It says, words carry inestimable power. The ability to know this and find effective ways of putting words together is a great communication skill that needs honing, because you'll someday reap its true worth and value. When all else shall fail, only words will remain. Do you know that your word is you? Do you know that by your words you shall be condemned? Have you thought about it, that by your words you shall be justified? Now, do you know that if your words become you, because ideally your words become you, your words are your thoughts expressed. If your words are inseparable from you, and if your words, like I said, are your thoughts expressed, how powerful can your words be then? The words we utter never go away. You've not thought about that? These words we utter, they never go away. Fascinating. Now, if this premise defines the maker of all things, the same applies to the man that he has made in his own image. If the word of God is God, then the word of Paul is Paul, just as the thoughts of Paul is Paul. Your word is you. In life, your words define you and stand for or against you. The evidence that you are alive is that your words are being heard when you voice them. But when you transit from this dimension to another dimension, or when you literally die, what happened to your words? Your words cease physically, true? But they never go away. I'll explain to you. This is a device, right? And in this device there's a recorder. Do you know that? Now, you're recording me now. Where do you think that idea came from? That if a man's words can be recorded and played back, it's only a replication of that which is in the spiritual. Now, if every man, as it is recorded, shall give account of every idle word that they speak on the day of judgment, my question is, I thought deeply about this, from where shall those words be found that they will be used as witness against them? You've not thought about it. Those words are recorded somewhere in man's archives within man. Think about it. Ponder a little. Look, the recorder is your own very spirit. My own very spirit. And every man's spirit records him. Because that spirit is the candle of the maker, the candle of the creator, with which your bowels and everything within you is searched out. When a man dies, what happens to his spirit? His spirit returns to its source. Is that true? Yeah. The spirit goes back to its maker. You know why? Because the spirit is the hard disk where all his activities are recorded from when he was born till when he transited. You know, it's like the black box of an aircraft. It records all and preserves the history of all activities on that flight. Nothing can happen to it. Not even fire can burn it. That's how your spirit is. So when it goes back, it leaves you, it goes back to its maker. And then what happens? It's kept in a retrieval system. So one day it will be slotted into the video of heaven. And you see all your activities, all your words and everything, your actions played out before you. Who was recording it? Your own very spirit is the maker's candle that searches you and records everything that you do. We must check our thoughts. We must be careful what we say. We must process our thoughts before we utter them. We must think before we speak, because words, once released, can never be taken back. How do you explain daily affirmations that men hold dear, repeatedly pronounce, and work towards seeing physically manifest in their lives? How do you explain it? It's the same thing with the negative, whether the affirmations are positive or negative. This is the reason we should speak blessings, not curses. Think about it. Because what you give comes back exactly to you. That is who you are. And it is only what you are and have that you give. It's sowing and reaping. Upon that very foundation, the earth was made. What you sow, you shall reap. The power in words can never be estimated, ever. Now, this present world was formed from nothing. By what? With what? With words. The world and everything that is in it was spoken into existence. Now, I want you to ponder that a while. Because if you don't, even your thoughts can be sent, let alone your words. Your thoughts can be sent far away and it comes back to you. In due season, it definitely will do what? Come to pass. That which you utter. I was involved in a car crash less than 48 or 72 hours after I made a negative statement in anger at home. Wife and I had this disagreement and I just, in anger, just spoke something negative. As soon as I crashed the car, my words came back to me and I knew that it was what I asked for. That exactly happened to me. I was stupefied. Be careful what you say. But more importantly, you must watch what thoughts you are preoccupied with. Because your thoughts are almost as equally as potent as your words. There's the aspect of the all-important skill of effectively putting words together to achieve the envisaged impact on your audience. This skill needs to be honed and evaluated continuously, and the impact measured to ensure that expectations are truly met. I have two examples for you in that regard. Jim Rohn, the success teacher, he said, "I wish for you a life of wealth, health, and happiness. A life in which you give to yourself the gift of patience, the value of knowledge, and the influence of faith in your ability to dream about and to achieve worthy rewards." End quote. These words, if well received into the mind actually is the womb of the spirit of man, it would elicit some specific response. The following thoughts, I took notes. The following thoughts may suffice. 1, you may think in line with the essence of self-development, the question of self-confidence and faith in one's ability to achieve one's dreams and desires, the need to thirst for a totally balanced life, the need to self-acquire essential values to achieve this balance. Now, the second example is the words the great apostle spoke, like in his epistle. He said, "But the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you." Now, if you carefully meditate on these words, it will spark different reactions in different persons. Really not many would connect with the phrase "suffer a while," for the obvious reasons that majority detest suffering, though suffering is indeed a prerequisite and preparation towards enduring success. The mind is indeed possessed by the virtuous spirit, is persuaded of the glad tidings laced in these words, and the comfort they hold in moments of despair. Long suffering is a fruit of the divine spirit and the infinite source of intelligence, and a virtuous soul craves more and more of it. That's the ability to endure, to wade through the challenges of life. It is the fruit of endurance and perseverance, the quality seen only in those who win and excel beyond ordinary limits. You know that words that are well crafted and carefully chosen are weighty, so that they find their way into the womb of the spirit, into the minds of those who hear them, to perform exactly that for which those words are sent. This position is incontrovertible. Now, what this means is that you hear with your conscious, the subconscious mind through the ears, you see through your eyes. If you receive it into your mind, which is the womb of your spirit, and those faculties receive them in the subconscious, it never rejects. Whatever you feed it, it works on. Whether it's real or is imagined, it just picks it. When you begin to act on it, it's almost automatic. But you can always reject, before it comes in. Now, when these things come in and they stay in you, when you utter things, regardless sometimes how long they take, they definitely will come to pass. So when you affirm things, when you say things, and you believe in them, if they affect your spirit, and you walk that way, you put in the work exactly like you put in the thoughts, and as you have uttered the words out into the ether, into the universe, you will attract to yourself exactly what you have spoken. It never fails. So take note of the power of your words, because there is power within you that man never knows, and man needs to be introduced to himself afresh. Man needs to discover what he is, that he is a spiritual being having only a physical experience, not a physical being having a spiritual experience. And if he knows that, he knows that whatever he says, whatever he utters, is a possibility. Watch your words, because with them you create.